Bill, first of all, thank you for doing Real Time with Bill Maher. You did a great job.
I had a great time. This is the first time I worked with you in years. And,
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Here's what I remember. To me, it was your first time on stage. It might have been your fifth. I don't know. But
First time I ever went on
It was
stage.
the next comedy club.
You were hosting.
You went up, and you worked for your dad, who was a dentist at the time.
Yep.
And you just were exactly the core of what you do now, which is you were pissed about your job, and you didn't like it, and you came down, and I said, dude, you have got to come back here. Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, I remember I asked you how do I keep doing this, and I still have the piece of paper somewhere. I think it's in my parents' house. You wrote on a little piece of paper the number with Rita's name.
Yeah.
The next comedy stop, Rita Choice, and I still have that somewhere. I still have a scrapbook of my earlier stuff. And
I'm in your scrapbook?
Yeah.
Well, at least someone else's name
penmanship.
in mine handwriting is in your scrapbook?
That's right. You
my
were
kids.
always nice. You were always a nice guy
Was
and always
I?
encouraging. Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah.
You were. You were too.
You gave me one of my first paid gigs when you used to host the Kowloon Wednesday night.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Noxie did Tuesday night. There was the whole rest of the soul. There was the whole pecking order, which you did open mic on Monday night. And then the big deal was I remember some people from my open mic class got to do your Wednesday show at the Kowloon before I did. And I just remember feeling like such a failure, like I didn't get to do 5 minutes
Isn't that
upstairs at a Chinese restaurant. And then when you finally called me on, and I remember being so nervous the first time I went on a show that wasn't an open mic, because I felt like the crowd was more forgiving, like they knew that you weren't a professional. And that's the first time I went on a professional show. I just built it up in my head, the expectation that the crowd was going to have of like, oh, they're expecting me to be funny. And it went well, thank God. And then I did those a couple times. Yeah.
What was your bit? Tell me a bit you did.
I don't remember the bit, but I remember the crowd. It was like sort of half full Wednesday, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember you bringing guys up, and then I remember the guys I was working with, like Todd Parker and Laletta and Robbie Prince, and being able to be like, oh, I can put them on my resume.
Yeah.
That I worked with these guys. That was such like a huge thing.
Isn't that funny how life is like a
probably
snapshot?
One of them said hello to me, which was awesome. You know,
it's a snapshot in time. Here's a time where you're thinking, oh, guys in my improv or my comedy class are getting on this Wednesday night show that no one gets paid for.
Yeah.
Before me, my career's over. And I'm thinking I'm hosting the show. I've made it.
Yeah.
You know? Meanwhile, you and I both had some more things to do.
Yeah,
but
no.
the process is you got to go through all those nights.
Yeah, and I started off with a great group. Patrice O'Neill, Rest of Soul, Dane Cook,
Noxie, Rest of Soul.
Robert Kelly, Bob Marley. There was a bunch of I was lucky I came up with a bunch of really, really funny guys.
Yeah.
So, we were able to, I don't know.
It was a crowded field.
Yeah, it was. So anyways, fast forward here. I had a great time here, man.
Well, I'm glad you did. I wanted to talk to you about one issue. Speaking of crowded fields, that's
It's not a train. They're moving up.
There's a train going by.
Hollywood magic. Hollywood magic.
The Pope last week in the Philippines said that you got to use the birth control, everybody. And I was thinking about you because I know you've talked about population control before.
Yeah.
And he kind of backtracked a little bit the next week. He said, but don't breed like rabbits. And I don't know why I just gave the Pope an Italian accent. He's from Argentina. But what do you think about population, world population?
It's completely out of control.
Well, what about be fruitful and multiply?
I think we did that. I think we achieved that goal, and it's time to move on to something else. I mean, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Like, I think we need to kind of curb the babies for a minute, let some older people die off, you know, and I don't know. I think like a good number's about 500 million.
Oh, really?
600, let the oceans come back.
Yeah, but how do you choose?
Give people some space
But you're not,
again.
you're not talking about death panels. You're just talking about attrition.
Yeah, just, you know.
Birth control then.
Birth control, old people die, somebody falls off a ladder.
Right.
You gradually, you know, you taper it up.
Here's what I think maybe get rid of seatbelts. I mean, there's some things we could do to move things
just
along.
get rid of medicine.
Get rid of medicine.
Yeah, all these diseases we're trying to stop is nature actually keeping us in check, but we can contemplate like love and loss in our own mortality. So we think these diseases are bad. They are bad, but animals get them all the time, and it keeps them in check. And we stopped all of that shit.
Get rid of medicine.
Get rid of medicine. Get rid
Live
of
a healthy
hospitals.
life. Eat well. Get rid of
Dude,
pesticides.
if it wasn't for modern medicine, I wouldn't even be talking to you right now. I should not be here. I had a ruptured appendix in 1980. I should have died under a stack of wool blankets on a prairie, but I didn't.
Eating green Jello.
Yeah, and no, here I am. just walking around, taking up space, driving a car, polluting a river in my own way, adding my hole to the ozone layer. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but I don't know. I'm trying to be a good guy.
Bill Burr, we're glad you made it.
Thank you for having me, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man, bring it in. Come on, bring it in.